I blame trying to get lots of stuff wrapped up by year end, so apologies. I'm also in the middle of a bit of a storm here, so apologies for any background noise that may be picked up by the mic. But let's get started. So many careers, especially in content creation, are already at the mercy of algorithms, and that's what I want to talk about today. Whether those algorithms are AI or not is largely irrelevant. It all started with the search engine optimization or SEO craze, but it has gone much further than that now. In the past, the advice I always received was, just produce good content and the algorithms will index it and send you traffic. That is nonsense advice now, as many of those algorithms are being spammed and your content is being overlooked. The game is beating the algorithms now, while the human audience is sadly becoming secondary. For those of us producing original content, we are writing or recording for the algorithms and bots first, in the hope that our work will gather some momentum via trending or recommendation algorithms. Please like and subscribe has become our desperate plea to our fellow humans in the face of algorithmic masters. I really don't blame fellow creators for those pleas, as these recommendation algorithms determine their success or failure. That desperation is justified and it's real. The fact is right now an algorithm can make or break your career. And that's not a nice place to be. So we really are at the mercy of those algorithms. Those like and subscribe actions act as a signal to those algorithms to encourage them to recommend our work to a new audience. Ironically, it is AI that will finally break the stranglehold of content recommendation algorithms, as it floods content platforms with AI-generated garbage content. So we're now in an AI-powered arms race between the recommendation algorithms on one side and the content generating AI feeding them. We now have AI generating content to feed AI. It's become a weird feedback loop. And meanwhile, human curated content is almost becoming artisanal and rare. And it's something that we should be seeking out. But, it's hard to find because it's getting lost. It's getting overwhelmed by all the farmed garbage that's been pumped out onto the internet daily. So in this relationship, the algorithms have all the leverage. And they have had all the leverage for a very long time. And AI is just strengthening that grip. And there isn't really much we can do in the short term. I expect this trend to accelerate in 2024. And right now, to me, the outcome is largely unclear. Eventually, the platform owners will have to do something when their platforms just become so riddled with AI-generated content that they just start to lose value. I've written in the past before that the real value of a social media platform is user-generated content or UGC. But that UGC now is being replaced by AGC, let's call it, AI-generated content. And it really is just being generated at a pace that humans can't keep up. And it's just overwhelming the platforms and overwhelming the recommendation algorithms there that's supposed to recommend high-quality human-generated content. But instead it's recommending a lot of garbage. And it's not just social media where we're seeing this phenomenon, we're also seeing it on search. Try to do a search for any query on Google, for example, and see what you get back. And of course, probably the biggest culprit of all is the chatbots that are now replacing traditional search engines. So you look at ChatGPT, for example, the content that the AI that's, answering your question is sending back, well, that's clearly AI generated content. That's not human moderated, that's AI driven. And you are really trusting that AI to give you a correct answer. And is that AI an expert on the topic that you're looking up? Or has it sourced material from experts on those topics? Well, who knows? I guess you're just rolling that dice. Some politicians have recognized the problem, but they have inevitably arrived at regulation being the solution, but that will certainly fail. You can see new regulations coming out from the EU, for example. But trying to regulate the content on the internet is like holding up an umbrella during a hurricane. And thanks to AI content generation, that storm is getting bigger. It's a futile effort, put simply. And all it will do is it will impact on people who are honest brokers. Meanwhile, people who are spamming will just continue to spam. They're not spamming from within the EU. It's a fallacy that a lot of politicians buy into, that the internet is regional. and that they can employ regional regulations. It's just bizarre to me that they still think that they can do that. All that happens is the generating of that content simply moves outside of, for example, the EU, but it's still being consumed inside the EU. So it's just it's a fallacy, and it stems from a place of ignorance and misunderstanding about the technology at play. So right now, I don't know what the answer is. As a small-time content producer myself, I'm still producing my content because I enjoy it. It gives me pleasure to do it. Whether an algorithm whether it picks up some of my content and decides to trend it or promote it, I largely don't care. I'm not interested in playing that game. My content exists for the sake of my own peace of mind and my own pleasure in producing it. And I will continue to produce content into 2024, regardless of whether or not it starts to trend. Most of the stuff that trends online, as we know, guys, it's trending because it's some kind of bait. It's some kind of content that's baiting you to engage with it and baiting you to respond. And the reason why that works is because the algorithms are treating likes, comments, reposts, etc. They're treating that as signals that that's good content. They're not treating it as signals as that's just something that's been put there to be provocative and to provoke a response in order to game the very same algorithm. These algorithms are not intelligent. Even if someone says we're AI powered, it's not intelligent. These algorithms are very, very simple to game. But you have to swallow a certain amount of pride to game them. You have to be willing to reduce the content that you're producing to something that's trite and something that's going to provoke a reaction. And I'm personally not willing to do that. And I know I'm paying the price in terms of being overlooked. And I know I'm not the only one. That's the thing that bothers me the most, is that there's a lot of high quality content producers out there that I can't find as a reader and as a listener. I can't find them because instead my feeds and my recommendations are full of bait. And that's the saddest thing of all. I really want to find other voices. I want to find people who have original ideas and original content to support that. But they're just simply not floating to the top. In this world that we have online, they're floating to the bottom. And the garbage is floating to the top. which is tragic. It's bad for everybody. And I don't think regulation is going to fix that. I think it's something that's going to have to be fixed at the algorithmic level by the platform owners. And from an engineering perspective, I will add, it's not a trivial problem. But nonetheless, it is a problem that needs to be resolved. So apart from worrying about recommendation algorithms this week, what else have I been doing? My personal projects still remain on hold. I've simply been too busy to work on any of them, unfortunately. In terms of media that I'm enjoying, I'm still reading Shift by Hugh Howey, which is the sequel to Wool. It's the second book in the Silo trilogy. It's brilliant. I'm absolutely loving it. I think it's actually better than the first book. So that gets a strong recommendation for me. And I will definitely continue with the series and read the third book, which apparently is not as good as the first two, but I'm a completionist, so I will definitely read the final book in the trilogy. So I will leave it there, guys. I will post another episode, maybe 2 more episodes in what's remaining of the year. I'm toying with the idea of doing some kind of 2023 wrap-up. I'm not sure what format that's going to take, but I will definitely post a couple of episodes in the next week or 2, and I will talk to you soon. So please watch out for those. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. So yeah, I won't be doing that every episode, don't worry. But I thought it was appropriate this time. So I will talk to you soon, and take care and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye bye.